You know, if that, or if the title of this episode is not wicked clickbaity, then I don't know what is. Hello again, Tim from Skirex Media, coming at you once again this week. Brand new podcast episode. Wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. I'll be honest, I was not sure. It is Tuesday. This comes out on Wednesday, so talk about last minute decisions. But I came across a story I couldn't ignore. I saw it on Snowbrains, and that story pointed to a link to a Reddit thread with a dude taking a naked ski run. Not sure where. It didn't say where that I noticed. Went through the comments real quick. Didn't see anything down there either, so I'm not sure where. But the gist of it was what the guy had as a title or whatever, a main headline, whatever. He said he lost his icon pass, got pulled for taking that run. So I figured that's kind of funny, and the dude seemed pretty good natured about it. It was, it's near the, not the end of the season, because the season doesn't end, but we're getting into that transition of spring, mid-spring or early. Are we still in early spring? We're still in early spring, but spring turns to summer pretty quick, and not everywhere has open stuff in the summer, so you kind of have to travel. So some people just take the summer off, wait to start in the fall. I would assume this dude is one of those people, because he did say that it was worth losing the pass to take that springtime naked run set of skis. Dude knew how to ski too. Give him that. And it got me to thinking, like, hey, I can't pass that up, because naked skiing is a thing, and it always has been. Well, I don't know if I could say always has been. I don't know if it always has been, but it's been a thing. But we'll get to that. Let's deal with this dude first. That's pretty easy, though. Some would say, is his icon pass getting pulled, going too far? No. This dude didn't seem to think so either. And the link to the Reddit thread is in the description in one of the various places on the YouTube. If you watch the video version, it will be in the description of all the different audio versions if you listen on Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, wherever you happen to listen to the Skirex Media podcast. No, there are other ways if you prefer, or if you'd like to watch it on YouTube or IGTV. So I'll put the link down in one of those, and you can get it. If you are listening in the car, please wait until you stop. Do not pick up your device to look at that. I don't think it was too far, though, for him to lose the pass, because there are rules. Not everywhere has open nudity or as a thing. Some places do. In Vermont, I believe we don't really have strict nudity laws for public nudity. It really does come down to the place you're in, and that's pretty much anywhere. If they don't want you in there without clothes, gotta put them on, or they can throw you out or take your pass in this case. And it could be against local, state, or federal law, depending. Some ski areas are on federal land. They national forest land, so you have to abide by laws and rules. And though I don't think he would do any jail time if it was a legal thing. Like, if the cops came, they'd either tell him to go and not worry about it, or ticket him and say, look, here's your ticket, don't be an ass, send him on his way. Or even if they had to arrest him, it would probably end up in bring him in, book him, a couple hours later, he's out the door with a ticket in hand to either appear in court or pay the fine, whatever it may be. Not really a big, hardcore crime, I must say, but a funny one. I give him that. I still laugh anytime I see anybody do it. I don't know, maybe that's the tween sense of humor in me. I think it's hysterical, but, to each their own, dude. Definitely do it if you're into it. Like I said, though, definitely make sure you're abiding by the rules and know that you have to suffer the consequences of your actions. Check, if you're going to do it, check your local guidelines, check your local laws, check the mountains, the rules and regulations. Don't be afraid to ask. There's no harm in asking. I'm sure their customer service people have been asked before. I'm sure they will be asked again. You definitely won't be the first one to do it. Check. You don't want to get in trouble. For those of you teenagers who do listen or watch the podcast, You probably shouldn't be watching or listening to this one anyway. Not that it's going to get dirty, but some people consider nudity itself dirty. But don't do that shit if you're not over 18, because that's not only you getting in trouble, that's your parents getting in trouble, and maybe other people around you getting in trouble too. If you want to get yourself in trouble, do what you got to do, but don't get anybody else in trouble and don't get hurt. So be over 18, check your local regulations, know that this is the age of cameras everywhere. So if you do it, even if you don't want to end up on the internets like Chelsea Handler when she does this. She does it too for her birthday. She's done at least 2 or 3 birthdays in a row where she's done a nude or near nude ski run. And you know, just know, like, she puts it out on social media. That's where I was getting. She puts it out on social media purposefully. If you're not trying to get there on purpose, know that someone else might put it out there. That's the age we live in. That's the 21st century, the times of the internet, the information superhighway, all that good stuff, social media especially. So it might end up out there forever. How odd a turn is this? We talk about naked skiing, and I'm going to get into it a little bit more here in a second, but not only are we talking about, I'm giving you tips on what to do and what not to do. Who saw that one coming? I didn't. That actually just kind of came rolling off the tongue, and I think that's kind of funny. I hope you think it's funny too. If you do, don't forget to subscribe. No matter where you are, hit the subscribe button, follow button, whichever it may be, dependent on the audio version, the app you use, or the video version, the app you use. If you already follow me on Instagram, SkiRex Media Instagram, you already follow the IGTV, so you're going to see it coming out anyway. But for the other audio and video versions, there's follow buttons, subscribe buttons. Figure out which one you need to do and then do it, and then tell your friends you did it so they can do it too. Now, beyond the shameless self-plugs and promotions that I just went out in there, and saying, like I said, I don't think this was over the guy losing his pass, because you do have to get rules and regulations, but I do promote it. If you wanna naked ski, that's fine. It is a time-honored tradition in skiing and snowboarding and pretty much anything really. Like, you know, back in my Mount Snow days, I think during one of the bike races each year there was a late night nude race that took place at least the one year in Sundance Lodge parking lot. I don't remember if it was in Corinthia's parking lot ever or anything like that, but it does happen. It is a thing. But in skiing, since this is SkiRex Media, we'll talk about that specifically. It is a thing. It is a big thing. For how long, I don't know. Who the pioneer was. We don't know. I don't think anybody can actually answer who the pioneering force in that is. And I know people will have answers, but were those really the first? Were they really the ones that originated it? We don't know. It could have been cave people on skis doing it, and that's very likely, since they didn't have the clothing that we have today, especially SkiRex Media clothing, which will be out soon enough. The merch shop will be relaunching shortly, very soon, hopefully within a week or so. We should have that back out. So if you want to show your SkiRex Media spirit, there'll be a new way to do that. But I think nude skiing, naked ski runs really came into their own as part of, like, people know about it, people see it. I can't really say mainstream, but kind of in the mainstream is when McConkey was doing it. If not, that he made it the most popular, because he was one of the most popular to do it. Big open thing. And then many years later, we've seen it in ski film. Most known, I think the most popular expression of naked skiing and snowboarding came in 2013, the Sweetgrass Productions, Valhalla. They had the whole nude segment with many names who are still active. I can't remember them all right now, but there's names and faces that and now more than their faces you would know if you've seen that segment. And I actually watched a little bit ago just to make sure I was thinking of the right film, and that was it. So 2013, Sweetgrass Productions, Valhalla, they have the nude segment, and it's a thing. It's a big thing, and there's levels. There's absolutely levels, because if you go out to, what is that in Russia, the Grelka Fest? I don't know how to say it because I'm not Russian. I don't speak Russian. But they do it every year, and it's a ton of bikini skiing and short skiing. And dudes even wearing bikinis, man. It's a whole fun thing out there. It's a big deal. But I've seen pictures out of there, and sometimes the bikinis become a one piece, if you know what I mean. If you don't, I'll explain it. Tim, bikinis are two pieces. Think about it. How would it become a one piece? And there you go. Topless skiing, if you will, and not just for the dudes. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And like I said, teenagers, you should probably turn this off because I'm not going to get in trouble for corrupting you. Go tell your parents what I'm talking about so they can tell you not to, please. I'm not going to get, like I said, I'm not getting pornographic, but let's just cover all our bases. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about nudity, and that could be, I don't know what your family does. I just don't. I don't know any of you. The only teenagers I know that might listen to this, they might be able to get away with it, but I don't know. Besides, some of those are older teenagers now. It's fine. It's different. But like I said, if you don't think your parents are going to like it, turn it off. Get the hell out. Anyway, it's a thing. And the funny thing is some people from the outside looking in think it's just these. I think they think it's one of two types of people. They think it's just awful, like fucking what's the word I'm looking for? People, I can't remember I know the word. I've used it all the time. But they do it to be filthy. Damn, I can't remember the word I'm trying to think of. But anyway, they look at them as these are over-sexualized people just who are just out getting naked because they're going to throw down afterwards. And by throw down, I mean fuck. That's what I mean. They're going to be doing something dirty, or that the people who do it are just hippies and nudists and that kind of shit too. Like these free, peace-loving, fucking people. Whatever stereotype you have to. I think those are the two main stereotypes. The fact is, some of those people might be in it. I don't know. Generally speaking, those who I have witnessed doing this and talked to of doing this has nothing to do with sexuality at all. Just because someone is naked does not mean they're looking to get laid. It does not mean they're looking to be sexual. It's just the human body. That's all it is. And there's worse things a person can witness in this world. That's actually something with the guy who lost his icon past in his video. Some of the comments of the video is like, there could have been children present. And I'm like, dude, there's a lot worse a kid could see than some naked dude. Like, believe me, I've seen some of that shit, and I wish I could forget it. There's worse things to see. Don't worry about it. Just explain it. So yeah, it's not always a sex thing. I mean, there might be a few people it is. I don't know. There's exhibitionists out there. There's voyeurs out there. There's all kinds of shit out there. But, for the most part, it's not sexual, and it's not anyone trying to push that peace-loving, free earth, tree-hugging, hippie stuff that people make fun of. And there might be some of them, too. I don't know. Because I don't know everybody, obviously. But, I don't think that's it. But then the people do it just to be trolls too, just to be jerk-offs, just to mess with people because they know people are uncomfortable with it. Now me, I don't care. Male, female, whatever. Do what you got to do. I don't care. I have an opinion on it, but it's of a more practical nature, but we'll get to that at the end. Do what you want, man. But like I said, just know there are consequences if you do it. I don't care and I don't mind. And again, it's not a sexual thing, and it's not anything else. It's just go for it. Do what you got to do. And if you're laughing, I'm laughing with you. If you're doing it to be a jerk, I'll be a jerk with you. Not a jerk in like a really bad way, just messing with people. It is okay to mess with people. As long as your pranks and jokes and stuff are fairly harmless. Don't hurt anybody. Don't make anybody throw up. Don't, hurt somebody mentally or emotionally or physically. But if you're just skiing down a hill and you're going to get people go, oh, because you're skiing or riding naked, then that's kind of funny. And I'm with you. I'll be that kind of jerk with you. I do. But, like I said, be careful with it when you do it. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to get anybody else in trouble, right? Now, is it something that happens so much that everybody gets to witness it? Obviously not. Even when you see the tree, a lot of mountains have it. Look for it on the longer lifts because you do need a minute or two, and usually a chair lift because your hands need to be free. Surface lift isn't really going to work here. You see the bra tree, the underwear tree, but a lot of those women, they slip it off under their jacket and then chuck it. They're still covered. So no, not everybody does it, even though it might appear that way. It's not true. Not everybody does it. I've witnessed it, but then I've seen a lot of shit in my day. I've seen some crazy shit in my day. Like I said, stuff I wish I could forget. But this is something I've seen because, I just happen to be there maybe, me and my buddies. But then we have seen things, some sexual things on the mountain too. I've told the story. I don't know if I told it here, but there was a young gentleman pleasuring his girlfriend on the chairlift with his hands. And they did not care that we were literally one chair behind. But again, to each their own. To each their own. Absolutely do what you got to do. If you get down with people watching and that's your thing, go for it. I don't judge. Just again, know that you're going to have to suffer the consequences of your actions. Somebody's not going to like that shit. And that shit is, again, arrestable in some places. So, that's not on me. That's on you. So do it for your reasons. Understand that you might get in trouble. That, there are those out there who are not as easygoing as I am, who will look at that and say, not right on, and again, not totally sexualized thing. I'm not one of these jerk offs who's doing like, dude, she's fucking hot. Like, I'm not doing that. It does, and that has nothing to do with it for me at that point. Do I like the female form? Of course I do. Straight guy. What can I say? But it's not always, again, nudity isn't always about that. And if someone's comfortable with it and they're just out there, fuck them, down with it. Do your thing, man. No, and that goes for dudes too. Do it, man. Get your naked ski run on. Now, what it comes down to, would I do it? When it comes down to that question is what I meant to say. I wouldn't. No. Couple reasons. One, nobody wants to see this like that. Like, it may not be sexual, but it doesn't mean I have to be fucking gross about it. And I'm not the strapping young lad that I once was. But beyond that, I am also a chicken. I am not afraid of people seeing me in my birthday suit. That's not what scares me. What scares me is the fact that I do believe in karma. I do believe in the idea of karma and Murphy's Law. What can happen does. And I also understand that clothes are not just about fashion. They have a practical sense. So obviously I wouldn't be doing this in a cold day where I think I could get hurt. I don't think anybody should do that. Be double careful if you're going to participate in the naked skiing. If it is 5 below with a wind chill that brings it down to 35 below, don't do it. You could end up dead. Hypothermia is a bitch and you don't want to go through it. But on a spring day, as we're coming to spring, yeah, usually you can get some soft snow. But what if you get a granular day? What if it's that granular shit that is gonna hurt? That's gonna hurt if you fall on it and you just have a t-shirt on. Think about that. The skin on your arm, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt that fall, right? Think about not having any clothes on at all and what you could hurt by getting all fucked up in the granular snow. Are you kidding me? Screw that. Plus, I sunburn easy, and I spend enough on sunblock as it is each year. I spend a lot on sunblock. I use a ton of sunblock because I burn easy, and I burn long, and I do not tan. The only time I had a tan is when I lived in Las Vegas, and that was through SPF 50 daily. That was the closest I've ever come. So I don't need to be trying to apply that shit every few hours, head to toe, to go out doing. If it was just one run, I guess it really doesn't matter. From could do it all real quick, then head up and do the thing. So possible, but still, burn too easy and don't want to take the risk. Don't want to trash my skin any more than it's already been trashed. So I do support it, but I wouldn't do it, but only for practical reasons, not because I think it's something bad. Right? Right. We're going to leave this at a quick one, about 20 minutes this week. What do you say? Because I don't know. I just think that shit is funny. That the dude, first off, the first part that, my man got his pass pulled. And again, consequences are consequences. We all have to deal with them. Always remember, you can't get away from consequence. But he was good-natured about it, and he wasn't trying to be a pervert. He wasn't trying to be disgusting. He was just doing it for the sake of doing it and maybe to be a troll. That's it. And that's typically what it's about. So if you see this going on, I get some people are uncomfortable with it, but there are people who find it completely wrong. And I don't believe that's the case. Think about that. There's worse shit that could happen at any given time, anywhere. We see it. Some of us have seen a lot of ugly shit in this world, and this isn't one of those things, man. It's totally fine. And again, if there are rules and regulations in place that say please don't do this, and including in some places it is arrestable. Like I said, maybe not here in Vermont, but in some places arrestable, and you don't want to get arrested, even if you get let go a few hours later. So just be careful. Know that there's consequences. Even though I do say, there's worse things children could see. It might be a good idea not to do this on a weekend day when there might be a ton of kids. Time your shot, and be you can be a dick, but don't be a super dick. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. Like I said, I don't think I'd do it, but that's from a practical sense. I'm not against it. Do your thing. We've seen it all the time. Like I said, Chelsea Handler has taken ski runs for her birthday last couple of years running. Lindsey Vonn was in the Bodies issue. I think that's what it was called, a Sports Illustrated, where all the athletes that were in those issues wore nothing, but you didn't see anything either. It wasn't like a Playboy spread, which I know isn't a thing anymore, but it's the only magazine I could think of offhand. Actually, that's not true. I could think of some, but those are really bad, and you don't need to be getting into that stuff. Right. I don't know. What do you think? Is it just funny? Is it something people shouldn't do? Have you done it? Have you done it? If you have done it and you want to talk about it, maybe we'll talk about this subject again on the virtual operate party in the summer. I know we're going to be doing a few of them. I don't know if we'll do it every week, but we'll be doing a few. Maybe we'll talk about that. We'll have you on the program. We'll talk about that. Also, shout out to Tech Rob and that GIF that we throw around. Maybe you've seen him use it. It is pretty funny. So if you don't follow him at Tech_Rob on the Twitter, check that out. Maybe you'll see the GIF. It's not him. But you also may have seen, if you were a fan of the virtual operate party, the bathtub photo. So this is right up his alley. So maybe we'll have to get him out and make some jokes about this and have a good time talking about it. And I hope he enjoys this episode. He listens every week. Aside from all of that, go ahead to my social media. Follow me, of course, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I know a few of you already do. But go ahead and check out a fundraiser that I'm pushing. It's not mine. That's not mine, but it is for a friend, young kid. His mom's been one of my closest friends for 20 years. It's our 20th friendship anniversary this year. He's going to be 20 years old this summer. I've known the kid his whole life, and he just went through a bout of shit with, I think it's encephalitis, meningitis, multiple strokes, 20 years old, but he's getting better. He is. He pulled through, and he's getting better. He still has a long way to go, but he is getting better, and there is a fundraiser for him. And if you can check that out, if you want to participate as part of the fundraising hike out there in my second home in Las Vegas, check that out. And again, I'll put up on the video version, you'll see it right here. The promo for that. If not, you can go to my social media. You can find the links for all of this, and I'll put a couple other links in the in the descriptions for the audio and video versions, so you can find these things. If you want to help out with that, help the kid out. Like I said, he's 20 years old, and he was shot the hell out and with a whole bunch of different problems, and he just needs a little help. And he will, and especially even well wishes, like, just say to the kid, we heard about you, that sucks, but you're getting better, and we, support it. Right. So check that out. And like I said, check out Ski Rex Media. Like I said, the merch shop is coming back, in a small way at first, but it is coming back. Plus there's the Patreon also linked in the description. So check that out. If you like what I'm doing and you want to throw a little something to it, there's a few people that do, and they haven't regretted it yet that I know of. Right. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you got a kick out of this quick talk about naked skiing. It was quick, and it was, just an overview. But hey, we don't have to go long until there's more people, and we can go tell some stories. And we'll do that during the virtual operate party. Think of this episode as a trailer for when that episode of the virtual operate party comes out, talking about naked skiing and riding. Right. right. I'll see you on the next one. Again, teenagers, if you made it this far, your parents might yell at you, but if your parents listen to the show, then they already know. So, thanks for watching or listening, #watching, and I will see you next week on the next one. Maybe with a few changes. I don't know. We'll see. Laters.